I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about how to communicate effectively with women. So the reason that we're doing this video today is because Margaret and I have seen that men really struggle in relationships to understand women.
Right.
I actually literally had a Skype call today with a guy who was talking about how his girlfriend had complained that he always was trying to fix her problems.
Right.
And it was funny because I'm like, that's not what she wanted you to do. And he looked so confused because he was like, wait a minute, why doesn't she want me to do that? Like, that should be the thing that she wants.
Right.
And I said, well, it's not that, she doesn't like that you care enough to try and help. It's that, she knows that problem inside and out, right? Like if it's a problem at work,
right.
People are sitting at work dealing with it all day long, trying to figure out a solution. How would you know how to solve it better than somebody that's dealing with the problem?
Right.
And he kept doing that, and I know guys do this a lot.
So somehow we have told men as a society that not only do they have to fix the broken board on the porch, they have to fix problems too.
Yeah. So I think that men, by nature, when a woman comes to them with an issue, something that's bothering them, something that's upsetting them, kind of go into, okay, well, how do we fix this?
Right.
How do we have a solution? Let's fix it. But the truth is, many times, they're just trying to connect with you and vent, get something off their chest, trying to share something with you, and they just want to feel heard by that. Now, of course, these strategies are going to help you ladies with men as well, but I just find that men are not shown how to do this by their fathers, by their family members,
right.
And so I think they struggle more with this communication.
And wonder what's wrong with women.
Now, if you're wondering what's wrong with my voice, I have a cold, okay? So that's why my voice sounds a little hoarse.
So what if you came home from work with a problem? And I said, well, I can tell you what to do about that.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
Well, I would feel frustrated.
Yeah.
I would be frustrated because I'm like, I'm not asking you to tell me, what to do. I want to tell you about this thing that's getting on my nerves, or right. I'm frustrated with, or I'm upset about, whatever the situation is.
So the thing is that, it's not going to have a product at the end like a solution. It's just going to be a feeling communicating type thing.
Yeah.
And how many men are patient with that? Right?
Unfortunately, not many.
Not many. All right. I read a very pleasant little book called I Hear You, about talking and processing and validating people's feelings. And it, it was an easy book to read, and I enjoyed reading it. And I want to share it with you. And let me start this way. Have you ever talked to somebody who clearly heard the words that you were saying, but didn't seem to get what you meant? Yes, many times. Or maybe they understood your point, but were obviously disconnected from the emotion or the weight of the situation. My car broke down after running over 3 cats, and, somebody in my family died, and the person comes back with, well, that's nice. How was the rest of your day?
So disconnected from you,
right.
That they're not really getting what you're talking about.
Well, the old famous one, aside from that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Right?
Oh, gosh.
Have you never heard that one? That's a famous old one.
From 400 years ago.
From 400 years ago. That person listened to you, but didn't really hear you. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that hearing is technically, a sense of hearing. But colloquially, we often use the phrase to mean, I understand you, or I get where you're coming from. Okay, so if we say, I hear you, that person knows where you're coming from. Of the many doctors I have, one of them said to me the other day, "I gotcha," meaning she knew what I said, and I thought, oh, wonderful. How often does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important for people to hear that. It's kind of hearing a true understanding and connection that we crave.
Yes.
We want to be heard and understood. Okay?
A connection is so critical.
Yes.
And that's what people are really looking for, is connections.
Yes. Kind of hearing a true understanding and connection. It's hearing a true and understanding connection that we crave. How do you show someone you really hear them? This is where things get interesting. The truly good listeners of the world do more than just listen. They listen, seek to understand, and then validate. That third point is the secret sauce, the magic ingredient. It's validation.
Yep.
Okay.
Very, very critical.
Yes. Here are some phrases that are often used for validation.
And I cannot stress enough the importance of really learning to validate your partners.
Absolutely.
It is absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Okay? So you guys got to really, really learn this skill. It's in the workbooks. It's in workbook number 5, 9, and 10. It covers it.
Okay. Effective validation has two components. One, it identifies a specific emotion. Two, it offers justification for feeling that emotion.
Okay.
Okay? Here are some validating responses. Well, that would be confusing.
Mm-hmm.
He really said that? I'd be angry too.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
He really said that? I'd be angry too. Ah, that's so sad. Okay? I totally get why you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a similar situation before, and it was rough.
And what they're doing here is actually more than validating them.
Right.
They're empathizing too.
Yes, and there's going to be a whole section on that.
Yeah. Which is even more critical, I think.
Yeah. And that
right?
speaks to connection as well.
Absolutely critical.
Yep. You have every right to be proud. That was a major accomplishment. What a nice thing to say to somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Invalidating responses, and where do you hear them? We hear them all the time.
You're probably hearing these from your friends and your family.
Yes. Invalidating responses minimizes or dismisses another person's feelings. You'll be fine. Don't you love that one?
Mm-hmm.
It could be worse. I think that's my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So what if it could be worse? I want to complain today that it's bad. And clients will say that to me sometimes in therapy, it could be worse. No, I don't want to hear how you justify it. I want to know how it was for you. Okay, it could be worse, and that suggests that you have no right to complain.
Or even worse would be, it could be worse, wait till you hear what happened to me.
That would be even worse, yes.
And then they make it about themselves.
Or at least it's not, and in Craig's case I would say, you have a cold, at least it's not the Wuhan flu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, yeah, at least it's not,
The coronavirus.
Oh, the coronavirus, yeah. Here's another one. Just put a smile on your face and tough it out.
You know what women hear a lot?
What?
You should smile more.
I know. You should smile more. Why? Because it makes you feel good?
Yeah. Guys that they think they're being flirty or, trying to get a woman's attention. You should smile more.
You should smile more.
Well, I might if you'd leave me alone.
Yeah, right. Don't worry. Things will work out.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't help you one bit, does it? Stop complaining. You're not the only one who's hurting. My God, what an awful thing to say.
Yeah.
Okay? Or it's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
That minimizes all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That might be among my least favorites.
Just forget about him.
Yeah,
just forget about her.
And go on with your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just find someone new.
Yeah. Like that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a heart over there, you who are speaking to me? Effective validation can come only after we've connected with the other person and are able to understand, at least to some extent, what they are feeling.
Yeah.
All right? That requires empathy. Sympathy is standing on the outside of the situation and looking in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry this is happening to you.
Yeah.
Empathy is stepping into the situation with the other person. and feeling the emotion with them.
Yes.
I am sorry you're sad would be sympathy, as opposed to wow, that is sad, which is empathy.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow, I'm responding to the magnitude of your feeling.
And I would be really sad by that too.
I would too.
You know,
Yeah.
being able to put yourself in the other person's situation is so critical.
Yeah. We've talked about empathy before, and it's a good idea to practice empathy just in everything you do. You know, you look at characters on TV. Is there something likable about them? What is that? Can I understand what they're saying? Think about what other people say and put yourself in their position. And I've had a few people say to me in the course of the past few months, I never thought about trying to put myself in their position.
Oh yeah.
It's a great idea to
Oh, yeah.
try it, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the 4-step validation method.
Okay.
Number 1, listen with empathy. Okay? Give your full attention. Now, I want to talk about full attention. There's research, says this nice little book, that if your cell phone is even in sight, okay,
You'll be staring at it.
the other person finds the conversation unfulfilling. Okay?
I think that's a great point.
I think it is too. Now, how often these days do we have a conversation with someone where we're not both holding our phones? Okay? And that's called being present, and that can be a whole subject itself, the quality of your presence. Are you fully there?
Yep.
All right? So if you really want to talk with somebody, get rid of the phone. Okay? And the next piece of advice is do not try to fix it or point out the silver lining.
Yep.
It could be worse, you know, yeah.
It doesn't make them feel better.
No.
You may have the intent of trying to make them feel better, but it doesn't.
Right.
It makes them frustrated with you.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to share something with you.
Yeah. And they're trying to share their feelings. They're not so much looking for a solution. So when in doubt, just listen. Okay? All right. Validate the emotion is step 2. Still don't try to fix it. Validate and justify the emotion. I can certainly understand why you feel that way. I would be angry too. Okay? Offer advice or encouragement if appropriate. That would be step 3. Okay? And they
Well,
said,
I think what you might want to do is say, would you like my opinion on that?
That was the next thing I was going to say.
I didn't even read the book.
Right? Offer, but we're not all as smart as you, Mr. Craig. Offer advice or encouragement if appropriate. Ask permission to share your thoughts. For example, would you like me to give you some feedback? Do you want my opinion?
Yeah.
May I tell you how I see it? Could I share my 2 cents worth? Any one of those things. So before you give advice, okay, ask if the person wants it.
And you really want to make sure that they felt understood
Yep.
and have processed with you
Right.
before you jump to trying to give any solution.
Yep. And you can also say, are you feeling like I heard you? And there's nobody who doesn't respond to that. And I've had to say things back to clients where I'm confused or not sure, and it's always been welcomed. Okay? And then validate the emotion again. I can understand why you're sad. I can understand why you're angry.
Yep.
And we have a more difficult time with the emotions we're told not to have. Do you remember the 4 basic emotions? Happy, sad, mad, scared. Okay? And we have much more trouble with anger because most of us have been told from the cradle that it's not a good idea to be angry.
Yeah.
So I think it's especially important if you're talking with somebody to validate how they feel. Now, do you think that's going to speak to men?
Hopefully. Because if you really want to get back with somebody and repair a relationship, you have to be able to stay emotionally attuned to your partners.
Right.
And this is a huge aspect of it.
And, you know, men tend to employ logic. Not that there's anything wrong with logic. But if you're talking about an emotional issue, stay with the emotional part of it and don't go all logical.
Yeah.
Okay? Any questions?
No, it sounds good to me.
Okay. So you're going to validate a specific emotion,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And make sure that in your head you know what the emotion is. Happy, sad, mad, glad. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, and like I said, this is covered in the workbooks because there are different examples to go through and practice because it's so critical to understanding your partner. Men, ladies, it doesn't matter. That's how you maintain a connection.
And if you don't even agree with what the person is saying, I read something the other day about the woman who comes home from work and is very offended that her boss said something to her.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the poor guy, I wanted to say, well, that jerk, how dare he say something like that to you and not even know he said it. But it's not helpful. No matter how we see it, we have to listen to how they see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Great stuff.
A
If
short
you
story.
liked the video, put a like on there for Margaret and her hard work and research. Of course, when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret, of course, is available for Skype coaching.
Yes, if you feel that I can be helpful to you, please sign up.
That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth,
I'm Coach Margaret.
and we will talk with you soon.